This is Kyle Juszczyk, and you're listening to Nothing But Niners.
This is Charles Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, takes to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks his hard tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst breaking tackle after tackle, swings down the sideline, throws off bodies like pros after a marathon.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in post, and it's John Lynch. Touchdown! Touchdown, 49ers!
It is second down. Ryan takes the snap, throws the slant to the left side. It's Russell intercepted. The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption. Navarro Bowman running it all the way for the touchdown. No greater redemption.
The San Francisco 49ers, we can do whatever we want.
Click, click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boys Mike and Wayne, and we are here to bring you guys another fun-filled episode 2178 of the Nothing But Niners podcast. Now, I know that number sounds crazy, right? I know some people are going to go back on my channel. They're going to say, Mike, well, when you look at the videos, it says you only have 1,900, blah, blah, blah. Listen, guys, I want to tell you all the truth. I went back and looked at every episode I ever did, every podcast, even when I was with 49ers Gap, and I gave myself credit for it. Am I wrong for that, Wayne? Am I slipping for that? He said no. You on mute. Oh shit. I gotta unmute him. My bad. Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
man? Hi.
You know you don't have to put me on mute. When you hit the music, it automatically mutes us, right?
I do know that, but I usually start with just the screen, and the audio sometimes will come in real quick, and it sounds bad when I turn it into a podcast. Just the air, like the ambient, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, my air is on, and I don't know if y'all can hear it, but when I hit play on the podcast, I can hear the and it drives me crazy.
Okay.
So am I wrong for giving myself credit for all those episodes?
You're never wrong for giving yourself credit, but is it for real that you did how many episodes? What episode are we on?
All right. So of public episodes, not behind Patreon, 2,178.
Damn. It's a lot of episodes.
Just go to this page and just hit videos and see what the number is. That right there will tell you.
I believe it. That's why you're not wrong, man. That actually you should be commended. It's a lot of episodes, man. Do you know how much time you can't get back?
Ask my wife that question. Ask her if she knows how much time I put into this. She'll probably start cursing and throwing stuff. So don't ask her. I changed my mind.
Yeah, don't ask.
I definitely changed my mind. But listen, man, let's run through some formalities really quick, and we'll go ahead and get to today's episode. This is the first time here on either YouTube page, right? So right now we are simulcasting. We're actually, what's it called when you're three casting? Tri-casting?
Yeah. Or still
simulcasting, right?
Simulcasting in 3 ways.
There you go. So I mean, like, so we're on the Wayne Breezy Network right now. We're on the Nothing But Niners channel right now. We're on the Nothing But Niners Patreon right now. Ooh. Oh, you know what? Let me add Facebook in here. Let me just give Facebook some love too. Oh wait, Facebook is in there. Never mind. Facebook is in there. Oh, okay, never mind. But yeah, so we're broadcasting live from a couple different places. So we want to thank you guys. If you end up enjoying this show, let's say that it just came across the suggested show and you're watching right now. If you enjoy it, please do us a favor. Give the video a thumbs up. You don't got to subscribe, but if you really did like it, give us a thumbs up and then consider subscribing. But once you do subscribe, because I know you're gonna love this episode, I got some hot takes. I might insult some people. It's gonna be crazy. But listen, once you like it, make sure you subscribe and then turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we're going live. My man Wayne right here, He be doing like 4,000 videos. Y'all think I'm not even at 2,500, right? Wayne has probably done twice as many videos as I have all over the place. So you got to have the network. Listen, trust me. You got to have the notification set, especially on his channel, because it's crazy over there. All right. So he can try to be modest and no. He go to games. He do shows at games. He do shows in the pouring rain. He just blowing out AirPods just for fun. Like Wayne just goes in. So y'all make sure y'all following both of these channels because you're going to get very original content from both platforms. Okay. Now give us a follow on some of our social media pages. We have Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter for Nothing But Niners. All right. Those are Nothing But Nine. It's the number 9 ERS. Wayne, you want to throw some of yours in there to let them know where they are?
Just at Wayne Breezy or at the Wayne Breezy. That's it. It's either at Wayne Breezy or the Wayne Breezy.
There you go. See what I'm saying? We also have Facebook and Twitch. Those handles are Nothing But Niners. That is spelled all the way out. I think my man just waved me. I think he's ready to come in down there. Or is he cleaning the screen? I don't know what's happening right now.
He looks like he's adjusting it. So,
well, I'm gonna bring him in anyway. So Here we go. Let's get my man Tony, the resident GM, is in the building. What's going on, Tony? How you doing, big dog?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
What's going on, bro?
It's another day in paradise, man. Guys, we heard from the team's GM. We got our resident GM here. Wayne, what's your position? Tony got the GM position. We never gave other positions to people.
I know.
Can we do that? Can we do that?
I can't give myself a position, but they could give us positions. Why don't they give us positions? Because they gave Tony the position. Tony's the GM. So
okay.
What would Mike be? Mike would be the Grant Cohn. He's the instigator. I'm just playing. It was just a joke. Tony's not laughing. Mike's not laughing. Look at Tony.
The episode, right? I felt that was a reflection of immediate growth right there. Like that. My reaction right there. That was growth.
Gosh, there was no reaction. Damn.
That was the growth. That was. See, now you got Nigel started. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now we got.
Wait. I was just sorry, Nigel. I was just playing. Well, because Mike is the conspiracy. I asked for a position,
and then he created. He called me another person. He didn't even give me a title. Still, he called me
I said instigator first. Like I said, you're instigator like Grant Cohn.
I like Sloppy's. Is this Sloppy Dickens? Did he create a new page?
It could be, or he just changed his name from Sloppy Dickens to Sloppy. That sounds so messed up saying.
All right, but director of player personnel, is that for me? Sloppy? Is that my title? I like that for me.
I think that fits you.
I like that.
You say yeah, Tim.
But see, no, guys, I want football. I want football positions, not they calling you the jester. You do bring a different level of energy.
What does that mean? I'm a joker?
We're jesters. Yeah, the joker. Yeah.
I'll be the George Kittle of the. Well, we're talking positions, not players, but I don't mind.
Mike, they got quality control. He said, "Yeah, it's him." Okay, so that's cool.
It's him. He's saying that I'm the director of player personnel.
No, he's saying he's Sloppy Dickens.
I'm just reading the next statement.
Oh no, he said no. It's for wait. Oh, so you're the director of player person. Okay, all right, I got it.
Jerry says I'm the boombox guy. What the hell was Nick Ray's role anyway? Other than what was his title? I'm sorry.
More. No, he had some crazy ass title.
I'm laughing because I can't remember what we know him as the boombox guy.
And apparently they're hiring again.
But he had a real title.
Chief of staff.
What the hell does that mean? That sounds like a really good position too, by the way. Chief of staff?
Chief of staff. He wasn't that high up, was he?
Well, maybe in football it doesn't mean high up.
Oh.
So they trying to say I'm not high up. I got it.
Human resources.
Mike do supply the jobs. I tell you that.
Oh man. All right. Well, look, guys, we're gonna get to the show. We got a couple of topics to go through, but first we have to director of player morale. I like that for the Boombox title. That would be a dope ass, like the curator of vibes. Ooh,
That sounds way better, but yeah.
Right.
So the title will be director of player personnel. The description will be the curator of vibes. It's kind of dope.
All right. So we did hear from John Lynch today, guys, and there were a couple of takeaways.
It is coaching chief of staff. His title was with the Niners. It's listed as 49ers coaching chief of staff.
Coaching chief of staff.
Yeah.
Whatever. So he must have had, obviously he had other responsibilities. They didn't just hire this guy just to carry the boombox out there. He had other responsibilities.
Or they just gave him a title.
I thought he was the DJ.
He was the boombox guy.
No, even on the field, though.
He does DJ. He does DJ. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Like, it's, man, now that is a curator of vibes. A DJ literally sets the tone for practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that the energy comes from the music. It absolutely comes from the music. So, all right. We did. All right. We do have a super chat in here. Jacqueline, thank you very much. We're going to get to them at the end of the show. So don't think that we didn't see it. We got you. And we hope you stick around. I know you said it's past your bedtime. Hopefully you stick around and, you can enjoy it. We will get to it, though. I promise you. All right. Guys, John Lynch spoke and addressed the media today. We saw the video from a bunch of different places. Let's start with our biggest takeaway. Let's go with Tony first. Tony, give us your biggest takeaway from the John Lynch interview.
To be honest, I'm going to keep it real. I didn't even get a chance to watch it because I was tied up with that other thing today. So,
well, you saw some of the bullet points, so right? Like
I saw the one interview as far as which was the one? Damn, I just saw it. He was talking about, was it Greasy? I think he spoke about Greasy, and then there was another one
returning.
Yeah,
let's talk about that. Let's start there. Brian Greasy is set to return as the 49ers quarterbacks coach. Big deal or not a big deal? Let's hear from the panel. What do you guys think there?
Go Wayne.
We're saying it's not a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. Look at what he was able to do with the younger quarterbacks. He was able to get Jimmy to play a little bit better than what Jimmy has done when he's with San Francisco, when Jimmy was the starting quarterback. Trey Lance looked like he was going to be, from game 1 to game 2, looked like there was going to be a big difference in Trey Lance, and then all of a sudden he ends up injured. So, and then you get Brock Purdy in there, and what if Brock Greasy's role in his job was the reason why Brock Purdy was also well prepared and ready to jump in and keep the ship moving. So I think Brian Greasy's job and his role is important, and I'm glad that he's back, and we're going to need him back because we still have these 2 young quarterbacks on the roster, and he's pretty much got them lined up to succeed in the NFL. So with that being said, I told y'all that Greasy was going to be a great part to this team, and when we first hired him, and I'm glad that Greasy is going to remain with the team for at least another year.
I'm gonna say it's a huge deal bringing him back. You don't have to change philosophy in the quarterback room with a new coach coming in with his new style. It's year 2 for Trey, year 2 for Purdy with Greasy, no change ups. And I think it's gonna make them better. So what he worked on last year, he can come in this year and progress forward and move forward with new techniques and new coaching style, coaching philosophies, moving them forward and progressing their play coming forward for this season. And the one real thing I think I took away from it was that the only real thing that was questioned about him coming back was he was offered more money to go back to the booth, and he made the decision to come back and stick to coaching. So that's huge in my opinion.
Yeah, good points there. And I apologize. I thought I was on mute. I muted my microphone over here. I don't click the button because it changes the little logo down there, right? But it turns out it was connected to my camera's microphone. So when Wayne paused and I said, "You can get me a big ass cup of water," and he looked at me, I was like, "Oh shit." He could hear me. So my apologies. My bad. I agree with both of you guys. I think this is a big deal. I think this is a very, very big deal, actually. We saw some solid play from all three quarterbacks. And I honestly, I believe that's the first time we can say that. It's one thing to have a quarterback ready for his next opportunity, right? We've seen games where, Nick Mullins will come in and throw for 400 plus yards in a game. And it's like, oh, shoot, we got something here, right? But then there's this cliff that they seem to fall off and they seem to kind of get a little stale, right? I don't think any of the quarterbacks got stale this year. I don't think any of them got stale. And for some reason, Brian Greasy was able to get those guys to hit a plane and they were able to maintain it. So I do think it's a big deal. And to Tony's point, I think it's an even bigger deal. He was offered more money. I want to ask you guys this because we hear this multiple times every year. Now about two people on the 49er staff, one of them being John Lynch. Now you got Brian Greasy, where these guys are being asked to come back to the booth. We know, well, let me not say we know. I think we would all agree that the offers are probably more a year than what they're getting paid at their current positions with the 49ers. Do we agree with that so far?
Yeah.
So then what would make them stay? If it's you guys, put yourselves in their positions.
I mean, if I'm Brian Greasy, like I would just love my job. Maybe I just love quarterback. Maybe I'm the type of person that loves to develop players. Like I was like that in the music industry. I love to develop artists. After I started managing artists, I was like, it's too much. Then I started developing artists. Give me the new player. It doesn't pay as much, you know what I'm saying? But I get a gratification and satisfaction out of seeing something grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that could be what Brian Greasy is doing here. So yeah, if they did offer him some more money like they did John Lynch, you got to remember John Lynch first deal, first real-time big, job with all the responsibility on him and in world was this general managing position. And a lot of us felt like he fumbled it at the very beginning. But man, they had tons of picks and they swung and they missed. It happens, right? But look at him now. And everybody's like, oh, John Lynch is one of the best general managers in the league. Y'all wasn't saying that his first season. And so you got to give guys time to grow. When it comes to Brian Greasy, maybe he's just feeling that same like, oh my gosh, I have these young kids that I get a chance to kind of like, shape them, mold them, and then watch him grow. And so I think maybe that is the reason why he turned down the job, or he turned down more money to be an analyst in the booth.
I often wonder if it's about, not to make this morbid, right? But I often wonder if it's about like realizing your mortality, right? Wanting to leave your name etched in something somehow, some way, right? Let's just say Brock Purdy were to go on and win that Super Bowl. He'd be in the history books as the first rookie quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. And Brian Greasy would have played a large role in that, right? Somewhere in that story, Brian Greasy's name would have been brought up. And that's history. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think that might be a part of it. But then I think about John Lynch, where you're already in the Super Bowl. You're already in the Hall of Fame. Like, that's the history. Is it to add another feather in the cap? Maybe like is it what John Lynch said when he first got here? I miss competing. It's one thing to sit back here and watch and I was paid well, but I miss competing. Like Tony, you're shaking your head. You agree with that? You think that's it?
Yeah. I mean, come on. He played the game. He was born into the game. His father played the game. He was around it from a baby all the way up till now. Some people just have that competitive edge where if I can't play it anymore, I want to be involved with coaching it. So, and I think he's an excellent coach. I think he's done wonders with our quarterbacks. Gone through 4 of them, and we were in the NFC Championship game. So, kudos to him. He looks engaged. He doesn't look like he's like out of it on the sideline. He's working with the quarterbacks with the tablets. It's what you want to see. And listen, he could be the next guy up to get a potential promotion to an offensive coordinator, not only with the 49ers, but potentially another team.
I like it. All right, so that was a good takeaway there from the Lynch presser. Wayne, do you have one that you want to discuss? One of your biggest takeaways?
I mean, there were several takeaways for me. I mean, he kind of talked about the quarterback carousel with the 49ers. He talked about each one of their situations. Maybe I could just talk about all three of them as a whole and make it one big take. But if you wanted to start with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's run his course here with San Francisco 49ers. So he kind of made it clear, like head coach Kyle Shanahan made it clear that they were moving on. And then he comes back and double down and says that, we appreciate him. We loved everything that he did, but his time is, it's pretty much run his course. So Jimmy Garoppolo is gone. All right. And then he talked about Brock Purdy. And I might not be going in chronological order, but he did talk about all three, and I'm going to go in the order that I want. So then he talked about Brock Purdy and that he's going to be seeing the doctor. He's going to be flying out to, was it Texas, to go see the doctor, Dr. Meister, I believe. And this week and next week, hopefully, if everything goes well, he should be scheduled for surgery, which is early March. So next week he should be scheduled for surgery. And then we'll start the Brock Purdy's timetable to return. So let's hope and pray that everything goes well. All right. And then he talked about Trey Lance, and he had a lot to say. He talked about why they drafted Trey Lance. Now, before he talked about why they drafted Trey Lance, he talked about how good he looked. He said Trey is throwing at the facility. Says that he doesn't know if Trey's 100%, on that ankle yet, but he looks really good in throwing the ball. And I know that's something that he's supposed to say or whatnot, but the way he described it, kind of getting a glance out of his second floor office window, it's cool to have this second floor office window because I can really see down onto that practice facility field. And you can see, he can see Trey Lance zipping and whipping the ball out there. So that's good. So Trey Lance is, progressing and throwing, possibly getting better, learning technique. Brian Greasy is going to play a huge role in that. And we'll have to see how he continues to progress. We'll know a lot more come May once OTA start. But the best part that he said to me about Trey Lance is he explained why they drafted him, which is the same stuff we've been talking about for the past going into 3 years. And it was the fact that, not only is he a student of the game and he's very, knowledgeable and stuff like that, right? Not only does he have the brains and the wits to play football, you know what I'm saying? He's not only is he a leadership, he talked about that dual threat capability and the fact that even though we don't think he can run the ball, they think he could run the ball. And so that's something that stood out to me because he talked about him having the ability to be able to do that as well as throw the ball. And that's why they're with Trey Lance. So it sounds like they're all in on Trey Lance. He did say he just needs Trey Lance to get healthy so he can have the opportunity to show everybody why. I'm rephrasing it, paraphrasing it, but that's pretty much what I got from Mr. Lynch.
Yeah. Very good breakdown of what he gave us from the quarterbacks there. He did go through all three of them. You're right. And I like how you put them all in as one category. The Brock Purdy injury update, we don't know when the surgery is going to be. He's visiting with some people later this week. If the swelling goes down, the surgery can happen as early as next week. But we have to see what happens, right? We're still kind of in the same spot that we were before. But now we know that he's at least meeting with somebody this week. The team is trying to get him in there as soon as possible. So that way we can go ahead and get this recovery started. You know what I mean? He talked about Jimmy and he's run his course here. And he said we're going to have nothing but fond memories of Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's going to go to someone else's team. He's going to play really good football. Kudos to John Lynch for that. I like that. I believe that he feels that way. And that applause that I gave when you were talking about Jimmy was not saying, yes, I'm happy he's gone. It was congratulations. Thank you for what you've done for the 49ers organization. That was my applause there. And then he did talk about Trey Lance. We're going to come back to Trey Lance. I got a theory. Not a theory. I have a we'll get to it later. There's a reason that we call this read the room, though. So we'll get back to that in a little bit. One of my bigger takeaways from everything that was going on here with Lynch was the idea that Gibson might be coming back. I thought that this was a big concern for the 49ers. And, there were a lot of people who were saying we need to bring Jimmy Ward back. But Gibson beat him out. Now I want to start there. I see Tony nodding and says, I'm gonna start with Tony.
I disagree with Gibson beating him out.
Here's why I say he beat him out. Ward went to Kyle and said, "Hey, I want my position back." And Kyle said, my words, not verbatim, but if you want your position back, you're going to be on the bench and be in the backup to him.
Yeah, but I understand those words, but I guess I'm interpreting it differently. So that's where it is. So you could say it however you want, but I mean it's the coach's way either way. So like I don't necessarily see that he beat him out. It could have been the coach's way of saying, "Hey, I need you here, and this is what will make the team better if you play here." Like, so either it's you either get here, you either get down to lay down. Basically, we on our state property junk. And it was kind of like one of them situations. If you say that he beat him out, fine. Is Gibson better than Jimmy Ward? And interceptions, I think Jimmy Ward is still the way better tackler. Like he's still better in stopping the run. He's still better in determining and being in the right spots because that's his natural position. Did he beat him out? If that's the way you want to interpret it, I'm not telling you that you're wrong, bro, or Tony. That's cool. I just look at it a little bit differently. I think it was one of those. I got two players. I need them both on the field at the same time. Jimmy, I know you could play here. I know you don't want to. So here, I guess what? If you want to play football on this team, you're going to play nickel.
Tony, let me get your thoughts on it, man. What do you think?
My thing is, we talked about this ad nauseum for the last 2 years. Why our secondary does not produce interceptions? Where's the turnovers? There's no ball hawks. Well, you took a guy off the scrap heap for $1.75 million, and he came in and got 5 picks in one season. And it potentially could have been 7 because I know 2 that he literally had in his hands and he dropped. But, it just seems like the continuity between Gibson and Hufanga, they had something working back there with communication. And, they say you don't lose your job to an injury. And people are trying to link that to the quarterback position as well. But I just think all our free agents comes down to the dollar right now. With our situation, with our cap, with our needs, with our holes on our defensive line and our roster that we need to fill, the 49ers have a price for every free agent. If they don't want that price, they go elsewhere. And it came down last year the last time he was out of a contract, I think it was 3 years ago. And the Niners had a price, and so did the Raiders. And the Raiders were actually paying more, but Jimmy Ward chose to come back to San Francisco because he was comfortable. He liked where he was at. He liked that defense. He liked playing with Tart at the time. And I don't think it's going to be the same situation now. I think Jimmy Ward's looking to get his final contract at 31 years old. He deserves it. But clearly it seems like they want to go the route of Gibson. And, the secondary, I think, played pretty damn well with Gibson. And that's saying that. And I think that stands out because we all agree that the pass rush really wasn't there this year. And they still were getting picks on the back end, right? Towards the end of the year, the pass rush, dwindled down. Was it because of Kinlaw? Was it because of losing Ridgeway, losing that force in the middle? And, it could have been anything, but I just feel this offseason's coming down to dollar and cents for retaining people on their roster.
Yeah, I agree. Gibson's 2 years older than Jimmy Ward or something along those lines, right?
He's 32, and I think Jimmy's 31.
Right, but Gibson hasn't seen his birthday. I don't know if Ward has seen his birthday this year or not, but I know Gibson was born in 90, so he'll be 33 at some point this calendar year. I just don't know when exactly. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. If nothing else, it's a veteran presence that can come back and at the very least compete. Now they didn't say that they signed him. They said that he was interested in coming back and they're going to try to work something out. So let me be clear about what I'm saying. But speaking of signings, well, first, before we move on to the Mr. Snap Attack, I want to ask you guys, was there anything else from the Lynch presser that you guys think we should discuss on tonight's episode?
I think that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay. All right. He did say that he was able to see Kinlaw working out and all, but not much else. Again, that view from the window type of thing. We'll keep it moving here. The 49ers officially announced the signing of Tabor Pepper. We know that he announced it a couple of days ago. Well, it feels like a couple of days ago. Shit, it might have been just yesterday, but is it just me? Like with Twitter announcements, like they feel like they're days apart, and you go back and look, and it was just like a day ago. Is that just me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I don't know. Twitter makes me feel like, damn, why y'all talking about that now? That happened man long ago, and you go back and look and be like, oh,
well, on Twitter, it was him making the announcement, but the 49ers never made it official. So it was never made official by the team.
Yeah.
It was him making it official. And so he broke it 2 days ago, but then the Niners made it official. So it became official today.
The Niners are weird, though, with announcing things. Like, they still haven't officially announced Steve Wilkes, I don't think.
I think what I heard about that is that Kyle Shanahan wants to wait until his whole coaching staff is intact. And then,
it's what they did last year.
Right.
The same thing with Schneider and Greasy when they announced it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Just do one presser, and leave it that way instead of talking about all the different things. You know what I mean? I guess I get it. There was another announcement. Oh, by the way, congratulations to Tabor Pepper. A phenomenal personality in that locker room. Good guy on social media and everything. So really, really happy about that 3-year deal for him. That they're shoring up this special teams. What do they call
it? 3 year, $1.5 million guaranteed. What they reported.
Right. They have the specialists locked up, all except for the kicker. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the other move that they announced was they also tendered to a 1-year deal for exclusive rights wide receiver Juwan Jennings. So Juwan Jennings is set to return to the 49ers. Big deal, or just okay, keep it going?
I think it's another big deal. I think it's, you're bringing back a championship caliber type of a team. Juwan Jennings, third and Juwan played an intricate role for the San Francisco 49ers. Half of them third and long motherfucking downs wouldn't have been converted without a guy like Juwan Jennings. And I think the 49ers, it's a blessing that they're able to retain his rights at such a cheap value. We're talking like $900,000. We're not even talking about $1 million. So he's going to be playing on the low, very, very, very low end veteran minimum type of a deal. But I tell you what, I want Juwan to go out there. He does have to improve in his catching. They all do. All the 49ers receivers do. So it's not just Juwan Jennings, but I want him to go out there and ball out. I want to see the kid get paid. He's put the time in. He's put the effort in. He's put the work in. He's a dog. Like, he's getting flags drawn. He's learning how to draw the flags. He's baiting these freaking DBs. Juwan Jennings is a wide freaking receiver, man. He's a guy that the 49ers need to find a way, and I'm hoping that they make a way. I mean, you got Brandon Ayuk contract coming up. Yeah, it's a lot. You still have Ray here. How are they going to increase his role? But third and Juwan, man, it's a big deal for me. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, I love him. He plays with a huge intensity. He's always blocking. He's getting after these defensive backs in the run game. He makes big plays and big parts of the game, big time in the game. You always see him come up and make a third down conversion. He's a chain mover. He's not going to take you deep. He's not going to burn you or run a route. He is a chain mover, and that's what any good offense needs. They need that guy to work the intermediate routes in the middle of the field and just bull over people and pick up that first down in a crucial part of the game, and that's what he does. He's been doing it since he's been here. I mean, I was so happy when we drafted him. He's still here. Hopefully he has a better season. He improves with his catches. He gets a couple more catches this year, maybe a couple more times in the end zone would be great. And he's just a good locker room guy. And when he's fired up, that offense is fired up. And that's what I love to see.
Let me give you all some of my boneheaded error over here, right? So when I heard the announcement about Juwan Jennings, I was like, wait a minute, don't they have him for another year? Like, he was drafted in 2020. And I went back and I checked, and he was drafted in 2020. I completely forgot that they cut him.
Mhm.
And he was a practice squad guy the whole first season. So that rookie contract
That
was
was the
thrown
COVID.
out.
Yeah, that was the COVID year. And I'm telling you, the 49, remember I keep telling you the 49ers are like the king in manipulation. Like they blamed it on an injury. He was injured. He was on the IR. It's like a PR Packers squad IR, like for the whole season, bro. Like I'm like, how's that even? I didn't even know that was a thing, but they figured it out. And then he worked his way back on the team. This is what I'm talking about. Like the kid's work ethic. Like you went from a 7th round draft pick to being cut, going to the practice squad, and he worked his way up the depth chart. And it's not his fault they have a Brandon Ayuk and a Deebo Samuel, but hell, I wouldn't be surprised next season if he leads the team in touchdowns, especially if they get a lot of stuff in the red zone. We saw Kendrick Bourne do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just looking at it, and I'm like, yo, I was reading a paragraph on him. I think it was on 49ers.com, and they talked about how he appeared in 6 postseason games. I'm like,
Wow.
I would have never thought that Juwan with the Niners, by the way. Obviously,
I
nobody else,
know,
right?
because yeah.
Like we've been all right. This team ain't been.
I'm
I know
trying
we
to
haven't
tell you.
got to where we want to go, but this team has not been bad, man.
But here's the thing. We haven't you can't say we haven't gotten to where we want to go. We just haven't gotten over the hump to win that game, right? It's that game. And when Kyle Shanahan has his pieces and they're all working and they're all healthy, I think that's the most important part. Like when they're healthy, like this team is a force to be reckoned with. It just like how inevitable was it that you lose your damn quarterback in the NFC Championship game? Mind you, that was the 3rd quarterback you started this season. And like that's not supposed to happen. Like it's like the Twilight Zone, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? And once again, due to health, we couldn't get over that silly hump. I feel like the 49ers are a team that are going to be contending for years to come. This is what dynasties are all about. They have to go through these growing pains. And the moment they get that victory, then it's no looking back. They're going to be built for winning. I mean, you watch teams do it. I always compare us to what the Patriots did, even because when you look at what Tom Brady was at the very beginning, he's not who he was at the very end. Right? Tom Brady was a game manager. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna get this ball, and my kicker's gonna kick the field goal. And so when you look at the way that the 49ers are setting up their quarterback situation and they're building the team, and all the quarterback got to do is come in there and set us up for victory. So it's gonna happen. It's just unfortunate, like what's that, Lemony Snicket's Unfortunate Events or something. I'm probably putting 2 movies together. It's just a series of unfortunate events that happened with the 49ers that caused them from not getting over that silly hump, man.
It's extremely frustrating knowing like how close we are all the time, right? It's like, man, if one thing was different, it'd be like, we got it. But man, we just haven't quite got there yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good though, man. One step at a time, one day at a time, and we're gonna get there eventually. I really, really do. I think we're gonna get there. So let's talk. Was there any other news that we need to get to before we move on? We talked about the Kinlaw update. We talked about the Purdy update, the Lance update, Jimmy not coming back for sure. We talked about Pepper and Jennings. Was there anything else? We talked about Greasy. No, I think that's it, right? Okay. All right. Read the room. Who that? You got an echo right now?
Yeah, whenever I talk. It's slight. I think it's fixed.
Anything?
No.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna keep it going. All right. I titled this one "Read the Room." I had an epiphany today, and I didn't share it in the chat because I didn't know how to say it. All right. I'm gonna try to explain it now, but here it is. There's this big debate about, not debate, maybe it's a debate. Who the starting quarterback is going to be, who it should be, right? None of us on this panel are going to make that decision, right? However, I think that free agency will tell us who the quarterback is going to be before the draft ever happens. Hear me out here. I think based off of the offensive linemen that the 49ers go out and pursue or don't pursue will tell us which quarterback they expect to be under center or behind center next season.
What center?
That's kind of where I'm going with it, right?
Mm.
All right, let's start with this. Would you guys agree that it's better to have a veteran center or a rookie center going into this coming season?
I vote for the veteran.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. A center with experience, because we have centers on this team that would be considered.
I vote for the center that fits what Kyle Shanahan is used to running.
Someone on the roster already?
No.
All right. Tony, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this. I'm trying to figure this out. I mean, obviously you would want the experience, but I think if there's a couple good centers in this draft, that I mean, but I know the way Kyle is, so I don't know. I'll go with experience.
He's always gone with the experience.
Yeah.
So there's never been a moment where he has it. So even Jake Brendo was a veteran in the league with some type of center experience. He might not have run Kyle's system, but he was a journeyman.
He didn't have a lot of experience, but he had some.
I didn't say he had a lot. I said he was experienced. Just like experience is experience.
So if it was somebody else on this roster currently, would you guys consider that experience? Like Jake's not under contract right now, right? So
no.
If it was somebody elevated to the center position,
but there's no true current center. So
I know.
So then no. But like that doesn't mean Nick Zakiel might not take center snaps come OTAs, or some other person on this roster that can slide into the center role does that. So there's a possibility that happens, even though they might be considered. I mean, is a second-year player considered a veteran to you?
No.
Well, that's why I changed it to someone with experience, not so much.
Was a second-year player experience to you?
No.
Right. So then that's why I feel like
one that didn't play.
Say that again.
Especially one that did not play.
Oh yeah. Right. So that's why I said that's why my point is he's going to go with a experienced guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So here's the thing, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Shanahan spends money on a center. Out of all the we need a right tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if he spends the money on a center and drafts a right tackle.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting, because I think if that's the move, it would suggest either that move that you just said, they spend money on a center and draft the right tackle, or elevate someone that's on the roster to right tackle.
Right. I still think they draft a right tackle though.
Right.
Whether they elevate, I'm not saying that right tackle that they draft would start, but he would come in.
The right tackle that we get is not from free agency.
Correct.
Then we're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. I think that it's whatever they do at the center position is going to dictate, or is going to tell us what they want to happen at the quarterback position. Okay. I think if they spend money on a good center, I think they want to lean towards Brock Purdy. Okay. I think if they elevate somebody from within, or maybe even get a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's Poe, maybe it's Zakel. I think that says Trey Lance. So I was having a conversation at work, and we got to defining what a franchise quarterback is. What's your guys' definition of a franchise quarterback? All right, I tell you what. Instead of trying to find it, I'm going to name names. You just tell me yes or no. Ryan Tannehill.
No.
Both of y'all said no. Derek Carr.
No.
Guys you can win with, but not franchise quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Prime Russell Wilson. Because this past season, we would say no, right?
Even this past season, I would still say he's the franchise quarterback.
Franchise guy. Okay, Tony, what about you?
I'll say yeah.
Yeah?
I'll say
all right.
Even though
I'm going to give you another name, and this is going to tell me if we're all on the same page. Lamar Jackson.
No.
I disagree. I think Lamar Jackson is a franchise quarterback.
Okay.
I think I understand why Tony's saying no, though.
Well, let's go there. Why not? Why do you say no, Tony?
I just don't think he's a complete quarterback. I mean, I think he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a phenomenal mobile quarterback who could make phenomenal plays with his legs. We see it all the time. But if you force him to be a drop back passer, I think that's where there's a slight drop off.
So,
but real quick, there's something to this though. Could this be part of the reason? Could part of the reason be Greg Roman?
Yeah, see,
now I just don't.
I think that's why I said I understand where you're coming from, because I understand our terminology. We're a little older, so I understand what our terminology of what a franchise quarterback is supposed to be. I don't think that defines today's franchise quarterbacks. I think today's franchise quarterbacks have changed because the game has changed.
Yeah.
And so I do believe Lamar Jackson can make all the throws. I think if you put Lamar Jackson in a different system, you're going to see Lamar Jackson play a different type of quarterback. Can he still run? Absolutely. But I guarantee you, he gets out of that Greg Roman system, he's gone. He gets out of that system and gets to a team that's surrounded. And you got to look at it, man. Who the hell was Lamar Jackson throwing to his whole career? Okay,
that's it. And this is where we get to the definition that we settled on at work of a franchise quarterback. And I want you guys to tell me if you agree. Your franchise quarterback is the quarterback that can overcome the deficiencies of your offense.
Not all of the deficiencies
of your offense.
That's not because now you're talking about overcoming the deficiencies in the offensive line.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I would say
that's part of it.
Maybe okay. All right, I can live with that. I can live with your definition.
What do you think of that definition?
I was thinking more of you saying like they build everybody else up and make everybody else better.
But you don't always need to elevate other people, right? How much?
Well, I don't know, but that's what people feel like, franchise quarterbacks will do. So, like, I know a lot of people don't like when I talk about Tom Brady, but remember when Tom Brady was throwing to nobodies?
Right. Yep. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's the point that I'm making, though. That's exactly the point.
He had two, real quick about Brady, he had two great tight ends.
Right, but I mean, there was a time where he was throwing to I can't even name
Heartline, right? Like wasn't Brian Heartline over there at one point?
I don't know from Miami, but wasn't he? Yeah, but I thought Amendola was decent, but he kept getting concussions. But wasn't he still labeled as a franchise quarterback?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, all right, so here,
but they also weren't winning. Like they still were competing. But they didn't win any. They didn't win any Super Bowls with some of them. Those guys that we can't name, right? I don't remember them winning a Super Bowl with guys we couldn't name. Edelman was in his prime when they won that last Super Bowl, and he won the damn Super Bowl. So I don't know where we place Edelman on a wide receiver all time list, but he was a
franchise quarterback. Doesn't win a Super Bowl every year. You get your team close or to the dance. Like That's a franchise quarterback is going to make the bad parts of your offense. He's going to find a way to supplement or overcome the bad parts of your offense. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
Okay.
No, I'm listening. I'm just putting.
Okay. So you just said, who the heck was Lamar Jackson throwing to? However, the Ravens win games when he's in there.
They
right?
win games because of him, though.
That would mean
He's a
based off of my
franchise quarterback.
definition, he's a franchise quarterback.
Okay.
You talk about Tom Brady. Who was he throwing the ball to? Tony's right. He did have some really good tight ends. Those wide receivers also, who were they half the time, right? And if they had a name, most of the time he made the names for those guys.
Correct. Because right. Who's
I'm saying
Julian
most
Edelman?
of the time. There's always outliers.
There was no Wes Welker. Who the hell was Wes Welker? Until he
Before
became
time.
a Patriot. He was a Dolphin.
Wes
I-
Welker.
I-
Wes Welker was a Dolphin. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, who was he? Nobody was thinking about him. And then he became like the ultimate slot guy. Right? I
Exactly.
get what you're saying.
Okay. So if they bring in or elevate a center and they don't spend big money there, I think that they want Trey Lance.
Is that because you feel like the center's going to grow with Trey Lance, and he could, or are you saying that because he can overcome deficiencies?
That part right there.
Oh, okay.
That part right there. Deficiencies straight up the middle. I want to be very clear what I'm saying. Deficiencies straight up the middle. I think Trey Lance can overcome those a little bit more than a guy like Brock Purdy. So if they spend big money there, look for real quarterback competition. If they get some bottom tier center or elevate somebody or draft another rookie, I think they want it to be Trey Lance's team. I really do. And because let's be honest, you're not coming here and elevating a bunch of wide receivers. We have a good crop of wide receivers on this team, right?
Mhm.
But what happens if I were to tell you Danny Gray finished the season with 38 catches, 450 yards, and 5 touchdowns? Who are you going to say the quarterback was?
Of course, Trey Lance.
Right. Not saying that he's elevating him, but it's the way they fit. It's the pieces that are around them and what they can do for each other, right? If I tell you George Kittle finished the season with 110 catches, 1,700 yards, 8 touchdowns, it's probably Brock Purdy back there, because you're depending on your super talent to keep the team going.
Not necessarily, because the way I see that is if Trey's the quarterback and he's showing that the deep threat of Danny Gray, the deep threat of Brandon Ayuk, and he's able to attack downfield, that's going to open a lot up for Kittle. So I could see those numbers either way with either quarterback, but he's got to prove it.
But you won't see you won't see almost 600 yards for Danny Gray and 1,700 yards for George Kittle. You won't see that. Regardless of who the quarterback is. You can't see that
because there's too much there's too many players to spread the ball around.
Exactly.
Well, just think about it like this, right? Just hear me out. Let's say it's Trey Lance, and let's say he does good. He has more touchdowns than interceptions. He throws for over 3,000 yards, 3,800, 4,000 yards, we'll say. And let's just say he hits one deep shot every other game. And that deep shot goes for 60 to 80 yards. Every other game, it's a touchdown. That's easily 500 yards in a season. So that could happen. But it's strictly on a deep shot attack.
But we have McLeod here also. It won't be just Danny Gray doing that. They're going to take away one guy.
Danny Gray, it's not McLeod.
Really?
Danny Gray, you see how fast Danny Gray is?
I do. Absolutely.
Bro,
he was brought in here for that reason only, bro.
You need to go back and watch the playoff games with him as a gunner. He tackled one person from behind because he literally blew by him and then looped around and caught him right from behind. He is a true 4-3-2 guy. There's no doubt about that. My man's a burner.
I like it. I like it. And this is, by the way, nothing I'm saying is a knock on either guy. I'm not saying that Purdy needs an all-pro or a proven veteran. I think Purdy will be okay. I think Kyle will build around it and disguise stuff as much as possible, right? I'm just saying that we have to read the room and let their moves tell us what they're going to do. You get what I'm saying? It's a storybook.
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I don't think that the shit you're saying makes any sense. Like it's the center is what Kyle Shanahan wants.
You're the only person on my show that I'm gonna let say something like that. Like
Because I don't think it does. Look, I'm going off of, you talk about stories, so then I'm gonna go off of history, right? I'm gonna go off of what Kyle Shanahan is most successful with, and that's a center that can get out there and be great in run blocking because he can continue to run the ball effectively, which will unleash some of that Trey Lance stuff that we want to see, the play action pass, the deep throws down the field, those different types of things. I feel like the 49ers, even though the 49ers ran the ball, I don't think they ran the ball as well as they run the ball in prior years. And that could be due to lack of speed. It could be not having those one run hitter, home run type of plays, like with the speed of Raheem Mostert or a Matt Breida. Therefore, I think they look for a running back with that type of speed, whether it's in the draft, whether it's undrafted. I think that's one of the elements that they're missing, because when I go back and I watch CMC's breakaway runs, like, why he always get tackled? Like, they weren't ever touchdowns. Like he might have had one. It's because he doesn't have that true 40 times speed. But you know who didn't get caught? Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, and hell, Deebo Samuel. Even though it's the slower 4-4, they just don't get caught from behind. And
But
so, go ahead.
There's a difference, though, Wayne. In the first 10 yards, you're not catching. In the first 10 to 15 yards, you are not catching McCaffrey. When he goes downhill, you're not catching him.
But you're not understanding my point. My point is
he gets caught from behind, but you got to realize something. Raheem Mostert is strictly an outside runner.
I understand that, Tony, and I get it, but I'm thinking of the runs that CMC ran, which were great. I guarantee you, Kyle had stars around him saying these are home run runs, and because he lacked that little bit of speed to finish them, maybe he looks for some speed to bring back to the running back room, because our running backs stay banged up anyway. And so, like, I'm thinking that's the one element that we're missing. But back to the speed, it also starts with the center position. And so the center is what's most important to me still to this Kyle Shanahan's offense. It's what sets the tone. It's what gets out there in those run blocks. What Jake Brendel was great in was pass protection. What he struggled in was run blocking. So I do understand what you're saying. I just feel like it would be really cool to have a center that could come in, slide protections, understand all that type of stuff. Look at Weston Richburg. 49ers ran the ball well, right? Then he gets hurt and then he doesn't play. And then who was after Alex Mack? They go out and sign Alex Mack. They don't have a problem paying for centers, bro. Like, I just feel like that's what they do. So that's why I said I don't think it matters, Mike. What you're saying, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I don't think it dictates the room.
Well, maybe, or maybe you just prove what I was saying.
Okay.
Now,
maybe I did.
Who was the center going into this season?
Jake Brendel.
Who was the quarterback?
Trey Lance.
Who was the quarterback going into last season?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Who was the center?
Alex Mack.
Veteran guy. And then you switch it to Trey Lance and you go out and you get a guy.
Weren't they going into the season as Alex Mack being the center too, and then the motherfucker retired?
What are you talking about?
This year, yeah.
No. Alex Mack was never going to be the center this year. It's just like Joe Staley didn't announce his retirement until after Joe Staley was never coming back that year. He was never coming back that year. It's the same thing that happened with Alex Mack. He did the team a solid by being quiet. That's what that was. It was the same thing. It was the same thing.
I mean, I think in the back of their, to a certain point, I think they were kind of hoping he was going to come back. I don't think it was closed door from like the end of the season. I think there was a part in the offseason the 49ers thought he was potentially going to come back. Because if that door was closed,
man, I wish
that
I could.
door was
I wish
closed.
I could prove that. I really wish I could prove it.
We can't prove it either way, Mike.
No,
I can't prove it that he was coming back. You can't prove that
he wasn't. Yeah.
Right.
No, I know.
I
All
mean,
right,
he can, but we can't.
But a step further, go back the year before that. You just said it. Who was the center the year before that?
It was supposed to be Weston Richburg, but he was injured.
Who was a very good, highly paid center to come in and play with what quarterback?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm looking at the center correlation to the quarterback position, and they were okay with having Brindell go out there and play with Trey Lance.
So you're saying they're going to sign?
You're saying that they were okay with it, but I don't think they were okay with it. I think they had no choice.
So are you saying the 49ers are going to start a veteran quarterback if they sign a veteran center?
That's kind of what he's saying, Tony.
Wait,
he's not saying that they're going to start a veteran quarterback. He's saying they're going to go with the guy like Brock Purdy.
Well, no, every point he just made is he's tying a veteran center to a veteran quarterback.
I see where you go.
Bringing a veteran center in to pair with a rookie quarterback. So that doesn't.
The quarterbacks have always been here. It's always been Jimmy, Trey, Brock, Jimmy. It's always been those guys. But what I'm saying is they go out and they get the big center, the proven guy, the good center for the stationary or traditional quarterback. When it was time for Lance, they were okay with taking a step back at the center position.
I thought the center was more the type of centers that Kyle chose were more for the run game. Not just
look at what Tony did.
Tony says I'm confused.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
Because Tony, he's tying right, Mike. So we got two rookie quarterbacks.
That's not y'all are looking at. I never said anything about a veteran quarterback. I never said that. I'm talking about
but Brock Purdy's not stationary.
Brock Purdy is this much more athletic than Jimmy Garoppolo. Stop it.
I think he's way more athletic, but he's not just stationary. I think he has way more wiggle and he'll move.
Bro. Okay. I tell you,
you can tell me to stop it, but I watched him move out of sacks and get the ball out of his hand. The majority of the time that pressure was in his face. There was only one time he didn't step up in the damn pocket. Well, two times.
There was also times where he turned around and ran backwards and turned his back to the line of scrimmage. There was a bunch of times that
I didn't agree with it, but it worked and he didn't get sacked.
Yeah, he did one time.
One time.
It was a big one.
One out of 5.
Way back there.
Yeah. I don't know.
And they flipped out on the sideline about him.
I'm not saying we have rookie quarterbacks. I'm saying we have these young quarterbacks, so they're not veterans.
Right.
Mike is talking about the style play of the quarterback.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And I get it, because I think that Brock Purdy, in my opinion, is an upgrade over Jimmy, but he's an upgrade over Jimmy because he can move with his feet. Which means, I don't know.
But it's all about reading the room. I think that I'm telling you guys, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be a quarterback competition either way. I said that at the very beginning. I'm going to say at the end of this also.
Say it again.
I said at the very beginning, doesn't mean that there won't be an open competition or a quarterback competition. What I'm saying is I think that the type of center that they bring in or don't bring in is going to dictate who they want to be the quarterback.
Okay.
I don't think there's a chance in hell that they would have left Jake Brindell as the quarterback if they thought Jimmy Garoppolo was going to have to play the majority of the season.
They would have left him as a
season.
You said they wouldn't have left Jake Brindell as a quarterback or as a center?
Center. I might have said quarterback, but I meant to say center. I don't think that there's a chance in hell that they would have left him as the starting center if they thought Jimmy Garoppolo was either going to be on this team or be playing majority of the games for the 49ers. I don't think they would have done that.
Okay. I mean, I was all for Brindell starting with Trey Lance because they've been working together for a year. So I was cool with that aspect of that connection. So I was all for that. I just think that Jake Brindell was going to be the center. It didn't matter who was starting quarterback because Alex Mack did him dirty. I don't give what you say. Like that's what happened. Yep.
I'm about to call Alex and be like, "Yo, what happened, man?"
Hit up Mac. Hit him up, yo, because I thought that was. I don't think they really thought he was going to retire. I knew they there was an inkling of it, and that's to me why they just couldn't be prepared, man. How many we were trying to set him up, Tony? What was that center from Cleveland? And we kept saying we need to sign him. I think it was Cleveland, and he was older.
Yeah. JC.
He retired, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the NFLPA rep or something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
We were trying.
Treader. It was Treader.
Treader.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we were trying, but all I'm saying, Mike, is fucking Mike. But hey, this is the way Mike reads the room. I'm sorry. I'm huge on a center that fits with Kyle Shanahan because the run game is always on point. And I'm not saying that the run game was bad last season. I'm just saying there were some Yeah, I know. So it wasn't bad. It was injury. Listen, when Elijah Mitchell went down, we tried, and then we picked up. And notice we had to pick up Christian McCaffrey. And even on his runs, how many of y'all were cringing every time he got hit behind the line of scrimmage, or every time there was like 1 yard gain? Y'all were like, please stop running it so much with Christian McCaffrey. Don't act like y'all weren't saying that, because I know a lot of people were a little nervous. All I'm saying is get the center, it'll fix that. And I don't think Jake Brendo was your typical run blocking center. Was he a good center for the 49ers? Yes. Did he become a Pro Bowl alternate in his first season as starting? Yes. Is there a possibility he returns to the San Francisco 49ers? Yes. Like that, like all of that, it's proper. So if Jake Brendo, I wouldn't be mad if they brought Jake Brendo, but there's some centers out there that you can upgrade with in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony said there's some centers in the draft. I don't know if you can get him in the third round, Tony, but hey, it is what it is.
I want to go ahead, Tony. You think there's going to be some down there?
There could be.
There were some good centers coming out in this past draft that went undrafted. Yeah. You know, like they were guys that people had top 5 center. He's in the XFL right now. Donovan West. It's in the XFL right now. Right? Like when undrafted. Everyone was like, oh, the Niners need to get him in the third round. Like he was everyone's guy in the third round. We did a whole draft board, right, Tony? He was on our board. He was one of the top 3 or 4 centers we had on the board. Right?
But what's your point, Mike? Because he's not with the 49ers.
I'm saying that there's going to be guys there. You said that. Yep. I don't know if we're going to get any.
Well, I mean, he went undrafted for a reason. And then we brought him in and it didn't work. So maybe that's why he went undrafted.
He had an injury, right? He was an injured guy. I think there was like an injury with Donovan West.
No.
Are you sure?
I could
he
be.
got injured in camp, but it was nothing serious. He missed like a couple practices.
Okay.
But it was nothing.
I thought there was something. Yeah. I want to show y'all one more thing before we get out of here. And by the way, guys, March Madness starts tonight in less than 2 hours. Turn your notifications on. 15-minute shows. Fire off any questions you want to ask at all. Football related, not football related. 15 minutes every single day for the entire month of March. Celebrating March Madness here. Nothing but Niner style, okay? That's where, never mind, I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. But I want to show y'all this really quick, and I want to get your thoughts. See if you guys notice anything that I noticed. So if you got whatever you guys are watching on, I want y'all to go full screen real quick. I'm gonna show y'all a set of photos here, okay? Actually, you know what? Let's just take the whole border off. I'll show y'all a set of photos here. All right. And I want to see if y'all notice what I noticed. Okay. Now, this is from Trey Lance's page. He posted this 6 hours ago now. Okay. Do y'all think these pictures are old? Or you think they're recent?
I hope sure as shit they're old because he got some.
Mike, why don't you just tell us what you think?
I don't think I want to know if y'all think they're old. I have no idea.
Do you think that they're old or recent?
Well, there's a part of me that makes me think they're old.
That's why I want to know what
in these pictures that makes me think that they're old. But I don't know for sure. I'll give you a hint though.
Are you showing us Trey Lance's legs?
I am.
Yo, might be on some different stuff, y'all.
I'm just asking if y'all think these pictures are old because
He got some chicken legs.
Well, Mike is trying to show us the difference.
Where were his surgeries?
Legs. Like, those legs look bigger than the other chicken legs.
Where were his surgeries?
And was it right ankle, left ankle? I don't remember.
He slid. He was going from left to right, so I think it was his right ankle.
Right ankle.
I think it was his right ankle. I don't know. I could be wrong.
All right. Okay. I just want to know.
So you are are you looking for the scars in the pictures, Mike?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Wait, blow up on that leg. On the right leg, could you make it bigger?
This is as big as I can get it. I zoom.
Is that a scar on his front? On his front, the front of his leg? No,
like right here?
Front of his leg. Never mind. The
This
scar.
is why
On
Trey Lance is gonna block us. I could feel it because
why? No, he posted the pictures for us to look at. If he wants to see those knobby knees, he wouldn't have posted them. Look, what's wrong with that? I haven't said anything negative at all. If you're gonna block me because I looked at your picture, I promoted your page, then that's a weak block. That's a weak block. I don't know what there is to be mad about. I just wanted to know if y'all thought that they were old pictures or not. That's all.
Well,
Oh God.
I was not leading with anything. I was not suggesting anything. I was literally just asking if y'all thought it was old or not, because I zoomed in. I didn't see any marks or scars in the legs. Now, those weren't 4K pictures. You know what I'm saying? Maybe by design. You know what I'm saying? They can edit. I've seen girls take pictures in swimsuits and bathing suits and the nude baby bump photos, and their skin look as smooth as can be. But when you see them walk past with sweatpants on, you see the cellulite, you see the stretch marks and all that stuff. I understand that photos can be edited. I was just asking a very basic question. That's all. Just asking.
Look at symmetry, son.
I'm not messing with him, bro. I'm not messing with him,
forensic kush, bro.
I'm not messing with him, man. Whatever.
I'm just gonna
I'm getting out of here. Forget y'all. All right. Final thoughts. Let's go home. I'm not playing with y'all no more.
I'm gonna try to stay up till midnight because I want to see Mike on this midnight.
Shut your whole face. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna try to stay up. I'm gonna make me a snack, and I'm gonna try to do the first March Madness, and then y'all kiss my ass for all the rest of them. Don't forget the super chat segment too, bro.
Oh yeah. There was one. There was a super chat. Shut up. Oh, good. Look at y'all.
Well, thank you, DJ Malone, because
my man DJ. Go DJ. Oh, that's my DJ. Go DJ. All right. Jacqueline says, up past my bedtime for this show. Period. Mad exclamation points. She didn't put the T at the end of it. She said period.
Right.
Not
T
period.
is silent. The T is silent.
Why they start doing that? Why?
I don't know, bro. I don't.
You know what's worse? When people say the T.
Period.
I'm so old. I'm such an old fart. There's been something going on in our community where they're adding R's in words that don't use R's at all.
Like, really? Like what?
Blur.
That's because people been watching Medea too damn long.
No, bro. I just watched this interview. Oh my God. Who was it? Was it a football player? A basketball player? And he was saying someone's name and putting R's in there. And the guy's name, the R's weren't where he was saying. Bro, it is maddening. I hate hearing it. I hate seeing it.
That's how
it's not a part of an accent.
I mean, that depending on where they're from, you know what I'm saying? That's a Southern thing, I think. Like that, like the heller.
No, it's not. My family's from the South. No, it's not.
What part of the South they from, Mike? Because there's a whole bunch of different damn parts in the South.
I have family in Carolina, Alabama, Florida. No,
they talk different in Alabama. Alabama South talk adds some stuff. I was just there. They're a little different,
so
and it depends on how it depends on how deep you go into these shows. I mean, these cities too.
All right, we gotta go. Mike is Medea. This show is a wrap.
I told
Jacqueline, thank you.
I told you. Hello.
Wayne.
On point. I gotta try to think. What's up, Mike? Thanks, Jacqueline, for the
Jacqueline, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate. Yo, you want to know why this is a dope comment from her?
Yeah.
Look how tired she looking her profile picture. Fam. Like, I don't know if she changed this picture just for this post, but she looked like, I can't believe I'm up this late for this show. It is way past my bedtime.
Period.
Period. Shut up. All right, final thoughts. Come on, fellas. Let's break it down. Wayne, kick us off with your first final thought. I know you started already.
It is combine week, man, and I'm excited to watch some of these players go out here and put their best work out there, man. This is where they go and they and get their stock up and all that type of stuff, man. And they get interviewed. I'm gonna keep it a buck, Mike. I was interviewing some of these players, man. They need some work, so I'm hoping from the Senior Bowl to now they have some speech classes because it's gonna be tough. And I guarantee you, they're gonna ask them dumbass questions in the interviews, like real dumb personal questions. I heard some of them questions be crazy. So just go out there and do your thing, players, man, because I want to see who the 49ers are gonna be eyeing in on, man. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The combine's here. Get ready for a lot of rumors. People are going to say they heard their sources, and the Niners are going to sign somebody this offseason. So, just get ready for it. Because,
wasn't there supposed to be a big move yesterday?
Yeah.
Or was that today?
Rumors are going to be flying. So just get ready for it. And I just can't wait to the 13th. Is it the 13th, the first day of free agency?
It's the 13th. It's the
15th.
It's the 13th is when the tampering period starts.
The tampering period, yeah, the 13th. I'm sorry. Okay.
So you kind of make your deals on that day.
Yeah, they just can't announce them officially until the 15th. But yeah, the 13th is going to be fun. I can't wait for it. And yeah, just keep your eyes peeled to social media. You're going to hear a bunch of shit flying. Who's interested in this one? Oh my God, the Niners met with this guy. Like, it's all hearsay, bro. So just get ready for it. Just keep it locked in here. If anything breaks, we'll be doing breaking news, I'm sure. That's pretty much it. I just can't wait for free agency to start. Then after free agency, the first wave goes, and we start talking draft.
What's your favorite tampering period moment in history?
In history?
Yep. Favorite tampering? I got one. It's at the top of my list. What? I smile every time I just think about it. Remember Frank Gore told the Eagles he was going to sign over there?
Yeah. And then he backed out. Who did he sign with? The Colts, right?
He went to the Colts instead.
Colts, bro.
Man, that shit was funny as hell. Hard left. Sorry.
Yeah, because I think wasn't Chip Kelly in Philly when that happened? Yeah. That wasn't a good fit. He did the right thing.
Oh my God. That was great. That was phenomenal, man. Oh, I loved it. That was absolutely my favorite. Like, it was all over the place. Schefter, everybody. Oh, Frank Gore going to Philly. Philly fans out here talking match. Oh, we got him. We got him. Mike, tell me about Frank Gore. Tell me about Frank Gore. You ain't got to worry about him this season, bro. He's not coming. Sorry. He's out. All right. I don't have any final thoughts, man. I want to thank you all for jumping in here, man. My final thoughts will be patient. We will be covering everything. My dog is knocking furniture over. This puppy is getting big too, yo. Y'all should see my dog, man. He's getting really, really big. But anyhow, we about to get up out of here. We appreciate you guys for checking us out. Make sure you guys have the alert set. We will be going live for March Madness in about an hour and a half. So make sure you guys are entertained. Go do something, run some chores, run some errands, do some chores, something around the house, get a coffee or whatever. 15 minutes. You guys can ask me anything you want. Anything. I can't emphasize this enough. It is no holds bar. And Wayne, if you're coming, you got to participate. It's a rapid fire show. We just go. DJ Malone does nothing but food questions. Wayne, you know what a Scotch egg is? A poached egg? A Scotch egg is?
Mm-mm.
See? I still haven't been able to find one.
I remember us talking about that, but I still don't know what the hell that is.
DJ Malone put me on. Since I read what it was, I can't wait. It's like an egg made with like meats around it, like a boiled egg made with meats around it, like sausage or ham or something. I don't know, but that shit looks banging.
I might be in the bed. I'll join from, if I'm up, I'm gonna join from my bed. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yo, Symmetry out of line. I'm blocking him from the midnight.
What Symmetry? What kind of leg lotion?
Does
he probably used that baby lotion, the pink bottle. You know that the pink bottle of the baby lotion.
All right, last question, and I'm gonna get out of here. Which lotion was better, Johnson & Johnson baby lotion or Baby Magic baby lotion?
Johnson & Johnson.
No, Baby Magic is good.
Nah,
maybe it's a Jersey thing, Tony. Bro, it even smells better than Johnson & Johnson baby lotion.
Baby Magic used to have this wash, like the foam wash, but they don't make it no more. But it was so great.
And that's why Johnson & Johnson is better, because that shit ain't made
bigger anymore. Company.
That shit, they hey man, pay like you weigh.
There you go. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. We want to thank y'all for checking us out, man. Let's go home, fellas. I'm gonna point this out. Y'all ready? Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful. I knew what we was doing.
You know. All right, we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Good night.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing